Hi there, Divine Souls. This is Nyla Nguyen. Welcome to Twin Flame Journey 3D to 5D. This channel is about love, relationship, and twin flames from a 5D perspective. In this broadcast, I want to dive in and share with you my insights regarding similarities and differences between twin flames and light workers. I think there needs to be a video like this so that way we can clear up a lot of confusion in the collective conscious. What I can see in the collective conscious right now is that there are a lot of light workers who are confused and they think they're twin flames because there's a lot of similarities between light workers and twin flames. I'm going to go through a list with you so that way you can see how similar light workers are compared to twin flames, and then you're going to also see the differences between the two of us. So that way it's a lot more clear for people watching this video, so that way they get clarity and the confusion is cleared up in the collective conscious. When I was looking into this twin flame subject, just to see what's available right now on the internet, because I haven't dived into this subject for a long time now, what I noticed is that a lot of the websites that talk about twin flames, they are very generic. They talk mostly about the connection, and even if they describe the connection, it's also on very generic term. There's nothing very specific, very concrete. It can apply to any light worker, essentially, okay? Now, another problem I came across when I was consuming these websites is that many of these websites talk about the connection, the twin flame connection, all the signs, all the phases, but they rarely discuss the traits of a twin flame. Actually, I hardly came across one website that actually go into details describing the traits of a twin flame. Like, how do you go around looking for a twin flame when you don't know what a twin flame looks like or the way they are, their personality traits? Because that's how you're going to be able to recognize a twin flame, is through our personality traits. We have very distinctive personality traits. So you don't go around trying to identify a connection first without first identifying if you are a twin flame. You're doing things backwards if you're trying to identify the connection instead of first identifying yourself. First, you need to identify if you're a twin flame. Then you go on to identify the connection. A lot of people are doing it the opposite. They're trying to identify the connection first instead of looking themselves. So this is doing things backwards. That's just my little tidbit I want to share with you, because I see the collective doing this and it's not going to work out. This is why a lot of people get themselves on the wrong path, on the wrong journey, and they're in for a very long traumatic journey, a toxic one, and they may not even be twin flames, and they're just putting up a lot of toxic behaviors due to what they're reading and consuming on the internet. Now, I want to give you some galactic history before I go into sharing the traits and similarities, just so that you have an understanding why light workers are very similar to twin flames. Twin flames were the first chosen core group of volunteers. They came here 6.5 million years ago. So because of their unique abilities, their characteristics, their skills, their powers, everything about them which made them unique, which made them able to withstand and survive living in such a very dense and dark planet, and they were able to continue surviving one incarnation after the other. This is what allows twin flame to survive down here and also fight the cabal for such a long period of time. I mean, being down on a planet for 6.5 million years is a really long time. So that is to give you some galactic history, how long twin flames have been down here. We've been here for a long time. So we are considered old souls, extremely old souls. Now, the light workers came after the twin flames. Okay, you've heard of them from Dolores Canyon's work, the 3 waves of volunteer. Because the twin flames had these unique abilities, skill set, characteristics about themselves, they were able to pass these qualities, these traits, these powers to the second group of volunteers, which was the 3 waves of volunteers that came after the twin flame. These are the light workers, okay? Because of the twin flame's unique abilities, they were able to pass a lot of these skill set, qualities, and characteristics, so that way these light workers now possess them too. So now twin flames and light workers are able to both work together harmoniously to help ascend the planet, to help lift up her vibration and do various light work on this planet. Okay, so we're gonna dive right into it, understanding the similarities and differences between light workers and twin flames, so that way you have a much deeper understanding and awareness of why there is so much confusion in the collective consciousness, why there are so many light workers who think they're twin flames while they're not, and why they are the way they are. Okay, and the first trait between the two of them that they share is that both of them are old souls. Okay, so when you read these websites, they describe twin flames, or they describe light workers, they always describe them as old souls. Yes, we're very old souls. So the twin flames are older because we've been here first. We're the first round of volunteers, 6.5 million years. I'm not sure when the light workers came in after that, but the twin flames are here first, and they're older. So that's one common similarity between light workers and twin flames. Second trait, stubborn, hard-headed. Light workers, they're not so much. Some of them can be like that, but I will say on a majority, on a general sense, I haven't come across many light workers that are that stubborn and hard-headed. Twin flames, that's a different story. We are extremely hard-headed and stubborn. Every single twin flame I've met, we are extremely stubborn and hard-headed. You can't change your mind. Once we made up our mind is made up. Only facts can change your mind, or we're going to be humbled by the universe. Other than that, you cannot change a twin flame's mind. They're extremely stubborn and very hard-headed. This is why they probably get into a lot of fights and conflicts, because they don't like to have their opinions changed by other people. If it's going to be changed, it's through their own volition, through their own research, through finding their own evidence, facts, or they're being humbled by the multiverse, then they will change their mind. Other than that, don't try to change a twin flame's mind. They're extremely stubborn, hard-headed. Third trait, love for animals and nature. This is a common trait between light workers and twin flame. Both love animals and nature. They are protectors of animals and nature. Fourth trait is that both are anti-authority. So they don't like to be told what to do. They don't like authority. They're against the government. They're against the system. However, the difference between light workers and twin flames is that twin flames tend to be rebellious, which is now leading me to the next trait, fifth trait. So even though they're both anti-authority, twin flames will take it a notch higher, and they will be very rebellious, and they will be lawbreakers. So I know many twin flames have been arrested. Some have been in jail. I've known at least 10 twin flames in my inner circle. All of us have been in jail. So that's to give you an idea that we are extremely rebellious when it comes to breaking the law. We don't have a problem with breaking the law. So that is very much a twin flame characteristic. However, there are some twin flames that are not rebellious at all. They incarnate in the opposite spectrum, where they are very sheltered, very protected, but that's in a very rare situation. I see more twin flames that are rebellious and lawbreakers than the ones that are in sheltered home and protected homes and loving homes. Those are in very rare situation. Now, both are spiritual. Light workers are very spiritual towards later in the year. Twin flames, some of them are spiritual. Usually the divine feminine are spiritual, and divine masculine are not spiritual at all. They are very much connected to the materialistic world, the 3D state of consciousness, so they're very anti-spirituality. So in a twin flame connection, it's very common that you have one that is grounded in the light, all up in their head, is very much into spirituality, and the other one, the dark twin flame, the divine masculine, is rooted into the materialistic world, all about success, wealth, money, making sure that they have status, fame, looking good in front of society, that kind of stuff. So this is the difference between twin flames and light workers. A lot of light workers, they will be spiritual towards later in the year. They might not start being spiritual in the beginning because they're still unconscious, but later on they'll be activated and they become more spiritual later on. Twin flames, not so much. A lot of DM will still remain unawakened. They'll still be pursuing their materialistic goals until they're being spiritually activated, and then they're being humbled by the universe. Then they have their spiritual awakening. Now, seventh trait, empathic. Both are empathic, light workers and twin flame. The difference is that twin flames have a higher sensitivity of being empathic, which means that they're very, very sensitive, like more sensitive than the light workers, which makes them very good lie detectors, especially the divine feminine energy. The divine masculine energy are very empathic, but a lot of them will use the skill for manipulation, for lying, for cheating, for doing a lot of dark activities that are in service to self. So that's the difference between light workers and twin flame. Twin flame have a higher degree of this ability more than the light workers. Eighth trait, Both are telepathic. Now, twin flames will become more telepathic and their psychic abilities more heightened if they have met their divine counterpart in the 3D and they've been both activated. Then their psychic abilities will become more heightened. Now their telepathy is a lot stronger. They have this psychic connection between the two of them. It becomes more developed. Now, especially if they ascend in their consciousness and they're vibrating over, let's say, 250 hertz, then all these abilities, empathy, being telepathic, is very, very strong in the twin flames. Now, the other psychic abilities, which is being clairvoyant, clairaudient, both are shared between the light workers and the twin flame. But I will say again, the twin flame will be more heightened, more potent, a lot stronger, more intensified. Usually everything the twin flame has is a lot more intense. We are very high energy, more energetically intense people. So this is why all these abilities that is shared between light workers and twin flames, everything is more intense and more heightened with the twin flames. Okay, now temperament. The temperament between a light worker and twin flame is very different. It's like night and day. Light workers are very mild, they're sensitive, they're good-hearted, they're soft, they're gentle, they're easygoing. Twin flame is the opposite. We are explosive, we're fiery, we're intense, dramatic, can be very aggressive. We can be, soft, mild, sensitive as well too, but not usually. Our temperament is like fire, okay? So if you're on our good side, then you'll see the good side of us, which is being kind, compassionate, sweet, loving, all the feminine trait. But if you get into on the bad side, which is not hard to trigger a twin flame, then you'll see the dragon come out. The fiery, the explosive, the temper, the aggressive behavior, that will come out through a twin flame more often than a light worker. So that's the huge difference between the light workers and twin flame, is that our temperament is very different. 11th trait, conflicts. This is how you're going to be able to recognize a twin flame versus a light worker. Light worker tends to avoid conflicts. Light workers don't like conflicts whatsoever. They, when there's a conflict, they want to get away from it as soon as possible. They want to quell it. They just want peace. Twin flame is the opposite. We tend to start fight, we tend to attract fight, and we tend to finish fights. Okay, twin flames have very stubborn personality. They don't like to walk away from conflict. They like to win conflict. They like to defeat the other person. It's a huge ego thing for twin flame. So when it comes to, let's say, conflict with words and there's difference in opinion, twin flames will engage until the other party is defeated. Where versus a light worker, they will avoid as much as possible. They don't really care, and they don't want to lead to becoming aggressive, hostile. They don't want that. Twin flame is the opposite, because of their strong personality, the way they are, the way they like to, and their strong opinions about things, and they think they're right all the time, and the way they speak about their opinion, they tend to trigger a lot of people's ego, and as a result, they get into a lot of conflicts, and when they get into conflicts, they will battle it out until one person is defeated. They won't walk away. The only time a twin flame would walk away from a conflict is they have already had experience dealing with this other person and they know they are not going to win. Therefore, if they know they're not going to win, then they'll walk away. But if they don't know this person at all and it's a conflict, they will battle it out until one of them is defeated. That's very much a twin flame characteristic. Okay, now this is going to be leading me to trait number 12, which is the personality of a twin flame in disputes and fights. Light workers, when they get into a dispute and confrontation, they don't like to stand up for themselves. Okay, they like to just quell it, walk away, maintain the peace as soon as possible. They easily give up. They don't really, they're not really up for standing up for their rights. They don't really like doing that too much. Twin flame is the opposite. They will protect and they will defend, especially if you violate their boundaries. This is very much a twin flame trait. This is why they get in trouble with the law. Okay, when someone is of the law, even though if they work for the law, twin flames don't really care. They don't really like to be disrespected. They don't like their boundaries to be violated. And if you do it, they will put up a fight and they will resist. So this is the reason why twin flames tend to get in trouble with the law, is because of this very strong personality that they will not tolerate people's BS. Okay, very much a twin flame trait. This is why if people don't know how to recognize a twin flame and you mess with a twin flame, you trigger them, you disrespect them, you violate their boundaries, you're gonna be in for a really serious fight. And when they fight, they come at you with everything they got. This is how intense they are. They'll come at you with everything they got. They're very intense. This is why a lot of people are like, whoa, where did all this energy come from? They just went from, you know, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is why it's very hard to read twin flame, and they're very unpredictable because of this characteristic about themselves. Now, lead me to trait number 13, which is both are drawn to spirituality. However, light workers are drawn to spirituality once they're awakened later in their years. Twin flame, one would be drawn to spirituality, which is most likely the divine feminine energy. Doesn't matter about gender, it could be a male or female body. Divine masculine energy would not be drawn to spirituality. They are mostly drawn to materialistic pursuits. Only when they have their spiritual awakening, they're being humbled by the universe for some reason, then they may be drawn to spirituality. But most likely a lot of divine masculine, because of the way they are conditioned, the way they've been brought up, they're very low vibrational, still operating in the 3D states of consciousness. They are completely disconnected from the spiritual realm. They don't have a lot of spiritual knowledge. They don't understand spirituality. So a lot of them will just think spirituality is like woo-woo stuff. They have no interest in whatsoever. Only when they meet the divine feminine and there's a lot of things going on in their life they don't understand, it will prompt them to look into spirituality more. So these are 13 traits so far I want to share with you, so that way you gain more clarity why there are so many similarities and differences between light workers and twin flames. Now you can understand yourself more if you're a twin flame or if you're a light worker. As you can see from these traits I share with you, there are a lot of similarities and differences between twin flames and light workers. If you want to find out more about the differences and similarities, there's going to be a part 2 to this video where I'm going to share the remaining traits and quality. That's going to be found in my membership site on the twin flame site. There's going to be a part 2 to this video. In there, I'm going to dive into describing more traits and characteristics, so that way you have a deeper understanding about yourself, if you're a twin flame or if you're a light worker, and why the conditions you've incarnated are the way it is. Okay, so you can check out that video in my membership site, www.3d-to5d.com. Make sure you go to the twin flame side to check out that video, because I have 2 membership sites on that site. I have the ascension side to help everybody on their ascension journey, twin flames and light workers, and then I have another session just for twin flames, so that way they gain more awareness about themselves, about their mission, and how to go through this journey and successfully complete their twin flame journey. So with that, I want to thank you for tuning this broadcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.